The Tokyo Games were originally scheduled for the summer of 2020, and the COVID pandemic postponed everything by a full year. And what that meant for athletes was they had a whole extra year to both train and prepare, but also to worry. And so that might have hindered some of the older athletes, but it certainly gave a lot of young people an extra year to get ready, to mature, to grow, and to prepare for these Tokyo Games. At the Olympic gymnastics competition, all eyes will definitely be on Simone Biles. But the US team actually has a pair of other gymnasts who will be making a lot of noise in Tokyo. Sunisa Lee is only 18 years old and has already emerged as one of Team USA's top all-around gymnasts, having won 3 medals at the World Championships in 2019. The uneven bars is her can't-miss event. That's where Lee strings together one of the most difficult routines we've seen, with tons of perilous release elements. Lee will see plenty of competition for the podium from Jordan Childs, her American teammate. Childs is 20 now, and Tokyo marks the end of a long journey. Just a few years ago, she would question whether or not she wanted to even continue in the sport. Simone Biles convinced her to relocate to Texas and start training with Biles there, and since then her performances and her scores have skyrocketed. This year especially, she's been wildly consistent. Since February, she's hit 24 straight routines without a major mistake, something even her pal Simone can't say. There is a lot of new talent in track and field this year. 5 years ago, Noah Lyles just missed out on making the US Olympic team that went to Rio de Janeiro. In the years since then, he's matured, he's gotten faster, and he's established himself as the fastest 200-meter runner on the planet. In Tokyo, he's going to be trying to become the first man not named Usain Bolt to win that race since 2004. Perhaps Lyles' biggest competition in Tokyo is going to come from the man who finished second to him at the US trials. That runner's name is Erriyon Knighton. He's just a 17-year-old runner from Tampa. It's not often that someone breaks one of Usain Bolt's records, but that's exactly what Knighton did at the track trials. Racing in the semifinals of the 200, Knighton posted a time of 19.88 seconds, breaking Bolt's under 20 world record that had stood for 17 years. In the women's 200, all eyes are going to be on Gabby Thomas. She graduated from Harvard with a major in neurobiology. She's now working toward a master's degree in epidemiology at the University of Texas. She ran the 200 meters in 21.61 seconds, the second fastest time ever. One up-and-comer that we won't see in Tokyo is Sha'carri Richardson. Richardson was poised to be a breakout star at these Olympics, and she won the 100-meter dash at the US track trials in June. Shortly after winning her race, she tested positive for marijuana. Marijuana is a banned substance, so it also earned her a 30-day suspension. That suspension expires before the relay competition at these Olympics, but the US track and field officials decided not to include her in the relay pool. Richardson's only 21, so it stands to reason we'll see her at an Olympics down the road. The Tokyo Games will usher in a new generation of swimmers. Before the COVID-19 pandemic postponed the Tokyo Games a full year, Tori Husk might have been on the outside looking in, but she used that extra year to get stronger and to get faster in the pool. In the 100-meter butterfly, Husk set an American record in the semifinals, and then somehow went even faster in the finals. Her time of 55.66 seconds is the fastest in the world this year, and the third fastest of all time. Regan Smith was only 17 years old when she made a huge splash at the 2019 World Championships. First, she broke Missy Franklin's world record in the 200-meter backstroke. She wasn't even qualified to race the 100, but she was put on the medley relay team, where she promptly broke the world record in the 100-meter backstroke too. Smith is now 19 and she'll compete in the 100-meter backstroke, the 200-meter butterfly, and likely at least one relay race in Tokyo. These Tokyo Games will mark the debut of some new sports on the Olympic platform, including surfing and skateboarding. Growing up in Florida, Caroline Marks loved riding horses and competing in barrel racing, but she prefers riding inside a barrel these days, a cascading tunnel of ocean water that is, as Marks has emerged as one of the best female surfers on the planet. She was only 16 years old when she joined the Pro Tour and 17 when she won her first event. Marks is still only 19, and many think she will be the face of women's surfing for years to come. Skateboarding will also be making its Olympic debut, and Brighton Zeuner will be the one who helps introduce the sport to the world. The California native was only 11 years old when she made her X Games debut, and she was just 13 when she won her first X Games title. Zeuner will be a favorite to reach the medals podium in Tokyo. On the men's side, Himana Reynolds grew up in Hawaii, which means he grew up chasing big waves on a surfboard. But he slowly gravitated toward a board with wheels, and he's emerged as one of the most exciting skateboarders on the planet.